Hey, it's time for another Ask Me Anything. This one comes from Brennan, who sent me an email, which is kind of cool. Guess he saw one of the YouTube videos. Anyway, Brennan wants to know, two-part question. How long have I been growing my goatee? And do I use anything in it? So, in 2012... I lost my job as a retail manager, which at the time I thought was an extremely devastating thing. And so I started writing full time. That was kind of the deal of, while I'm looking for a job, I'll see how this writing thing goes. I'll get back into it. I'd always written, but I decided, you know what, let me give it a shot. Despite the woman I was with at the time, she was pretty pissed. She wanted me to go out and get a job. So instead, I just basically said, screw it. And I started not only writing, but I had always had to shave my goatee. So my goatee was always like that. And as you can see, my head is really freaking round. I mean, it wasn't as round as it is now, but it was still pretty round, and I just never liked it. So, somebody I knew, I forget who, had grown his out, and he was also a big guy, and he said he liked it better because then it hid the giant bulbous shape of his head. And I thought, good enough for me. So I started growing it, and I grew it from like 2012, and so the only time I've cut it twice. One time I completely shaved. I chopped it down back to what I didn't like, and I shaved my mustache. And my kids hated it. That was about 2013, 2014. My son said I looked like the douchebag from Disturbed. So I grew my mustache back. And then right before I got my engagement pictures, I cut it all off. So it was like 6 years ago. We got married in 2015. So like 2014, towards the end of 2014, I completely shaved my mustache and my goatee. I don't know why. My wife freaked because we had engagement pictures coming up in like 3 or 4 months. So if you look at our engagement pictures, I have a very, very short goatee. But from that point on, I have only trimmed it maybe 2 or 3 times. My wife will finally grab it and cut all the dead ends off. So right now it is to there, which is pretty long. So as far as using stuff in it, occasionally I will when I go out, which isn't a lot of times. And I had a buddy, Dan Flanagan, who does acoustic punk stuff. I used to do signings with him in Jacksonville, and I can't remember this. He used to be in 5 Cent Psychiatrist. Can't remember his new band. Really good. He used to do that on the side, like do beard oil and stuff. So I used to trade him books for beard oil. And then I tried a couple other ones, but they had way too much alcohol in it. So I just started doing sample. I did a sample pack for like $10 for Live Bearded, is what it's called. And so far, I really like it. I'm not using any today. That's why it's all poofy. But when I went out yesterday, I used one that had, it was, what was it? Tobacco and something. Oh, and cedar. Tobacco and cedar was the smell. And it made my goatee real nice and pretty and soft. And it smelled like tobacco and cedar, but in a really nice way. So they have a few different ones. I haven't used all of them yet. I'm going through the sample pack. They're not paying me to say this, but so far, I really like them. Live bearded. And the cool part is they call me brother and bro and bruh and all that. So it makes me feel like one of the guys. So anyway, there's my, maybe my answer to your question, Brennan. I don't know. If you have a question, send it along. Either comment on the video itself on my Patreon or on my YouTube, or send me an email, armandrosamilia@gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter at ArmandAuthor. Anyway, you want to send me a question for this, I will gladly answer. Okay. Since I'm so winded and I'm fat, but my goatee looks really nice, I will sign off now. Bye.